Movavi Video Suite. How to, for dummies. Don't worry, it is easy.
Okay, so I just want to make you a quick guide here showing how I do these things here. So first things first, get your folder with all your files, and honestly, I didn't do this at first, but I sincerely recommend doing this because it'll save you so much time, and probably won't do it, but you'll eventually you'll start doing it and you'll be like, oh yeah, I should have been doing that. So we're gonna get this, and we're gonna drag them all right here. So we're gonna make sure we do this. I also want to make sure this is 16:9. There's other things, so if you want to use it for your phone, you can do that one. But right now for YouTube, 16:9. So first things before you do anything, you got these things here, which you can hide things, but we know for sure we're going to have more than one video track, so we're going to do that. And for audio, I'm going to add an extra audio track because we're going to put in some music there. So first things first, we got these 4 things lined up. So I'm going to drop my first clip here, and there we are. I'm just sort of talking in front of the thing. There's a few edits in this one because I had 2 cuts, but there's that. Simple as can be. And if I wanted to, say, add this on top, well, I can easily go to this here. So these are your big tools. There's other like fun tools here, but these are your main tools you're going to be using. And what I'm going to do is, if I want this to be in the background here, so I'm going to go and I'm going to hit, what is it? As I get blinded by this thing. Overlay is the top one. I'm blind. That's why it wasn't scrolled up. So we got that. Whoops, wrong thing. So now we can do it. So overlay, make sure the right thing's highlighted. So don't highlight the other one, because that's not a good thing. And then we're going to go like that, and I can move this all around here anywhere I want. So, if this was green screened, it'd be the other way around. So I'd be like this, and like this. And then I would go and, there's only a small bit of green there, but you can see, I'd hit this, I go, and there we go. Now it's green screening, and I can tweak these things to my liking. This one you really gotta play with. It usually starts, I think, at like 3 or something, but obviously we're not properly green screening right now. So that's that. It'll probably look weird if I try to play this anyway. Yeah, you're probably not gonna see anything. So yeah, anyway, there's that. That's the green screen. Oh yeah, it's probably not even gonna show anything because it's overlaid like this. Well, there we go. But that's that. We can go to the star thing here. Here's your star. This shows the effects. So we can click the X here and get rid of that, and we're back to normal. So back in business there. Also careful, that did take out the blue too, so definitely gotta be careful. It's a light color here, but it does accept blue or green, so always be cautious with that. We got our little thing up here, but you know what? I don't want this to be like this. So I want to get some cuts in here. So I'm going to go and right click, split, and maybe I want it to not have the clip there at all for a bit. Well, I can right click, detach audio, so it's still smooth, and then delete, and there we go. With no interruption to sound, which can sometimes clean up the video, we're back in business there. Now, you can mess with these things, but for VR videos, I don't recommend changing the speed because it seems to give people issues. I know I did that in my Dash World video and it did not work out so well. And also, if you're not planning on adding any transitions, this is always the best. This is the easiest transition that always works. So you can see there, that looks great. Don't have to worry about that. But Movavi is great because you have all these beautiful features, and some of these look super cool. Now they sometimes give you free ones, so I'll sometimes have like, I think, but this sometimes give you free things. I think this was one of the free ones I got. But if we do this one here, what happens? See there, and There we go, it's gone. Now it does look a lot better if that was on the full video here. So let me just do a little cut here. And we'll do the full video. And you know what? There we go. Just do so you can see here, there we go, did a little cut. Now it's not cutting to anything, so it's not that big a deal. Another one I really like to use is the crossfade. I don't really use that explosion one, but it's there. So there's tons of these that you can play with, and some of these that are, like this one's new, which is really cool because this is how it does the little, I'll show you what it looks like. But I really like the way this transition looks because it kind of just throws it up on there naturally and looks way more professional than I actually am. The other thing here is the text. And there is these intro video clip things here, but they're just little mini videos for the most part. So I don't really use these ever, but they exist. So you can do them if you want. Basically, where is it? Oops. So it'll basically be like a video intro kind of thing. And I mean, I can change things in this, I believe, by going in here and be like,
Why did the editor turn down the wedding gig? It wasn't a real job.
I don't remember how to change this, but there was a way to change this back in the day. Maybe it's gone now. You used to be able to change the actual wording on this. Either way, I don't use those, so those are there. There's actually a whole lot of media you can sort of get for free with this. Some sound effects, music, sample like video things. Like this one's pretty cool. So this one here I can go and I'll throw that on there, and then we can go this like that. Then we're gonna go chroma key, obviously. And I can throw that on there, and then there you go. And obviously I'm gonna go to the overlay for this one. And I'm gonna move that. And just put it over there. I mean, for VR games, they don't really need to be fully centered. You can totally do that, but because it's green screen, it'll do the work for you. And then there you go. How good does that look? Get a green screen and just put yourself in front of that. Beautiful. And you can find clips like this on YouTube for free too, so you don't have to be limited to just these ones, which is how I put my subscribe thing. So I'll show you how to do that. So I've got this here, this big folder of all sorts of stuff, and I'll probably cut this part out. So you'll probably just be seeing nothing right now.
Oh, secret files. I wonder what you're hiding. Cat distraction. Meow.
So then if I take something like this, I can throw this on here. Well, chroma key. And ta-da! Easy to go. And if I wanted to use my own personal audio, so like I'll do my own audio in Audacity with my microphone because they're not connected with the actual camera. If I were to do it that way, or if I were to split the audio and then want to attach it back together afterwards, I got my video audio here. Just need to line it up. And what I'll usually do to line these things up properly is I'll go like this, and this is your zoom in feature. So this is zoom out, this is your zoom in. So when you zoom in like this, you can see these lines, and you want them to line up best you can. They're going to be different to an extent, obviously, because they're different audio sources. But usually what I do is I'll have them both at the same time, and then when I'm finished, I'll hit this thing and mute them. And another issue that you'll find with this is if you start deleting things. So let's say I were to go in here and I'll delete this. Well, suddenly it deleted all these other stuff, and I'm like, well, I didn't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to detach these. So you can see this is detached, detached, detached. So now, when I delete this, those things stay there, which is quite helpful. So you definitely want to know that feature. But the other thing too, is if I were to click this, so if I don't have that clicked, and I delete this, this happens. But, or I mean if I do have that clicked, but if I do have it clicked and I delete it, you can see it resizes. So you can pick and choose how you want to do it. I usually try to leave things like this as much as possible so that I don't accidentally delete things and then not realize it until 5 minutes later when it's a bunch of editing afterwards and I'm hitting there spamming the undo button trying to fix it. So there's that. In terms of the other effects, there is some hidden ones in here, like the sharpen, which is weird it shows it like this because there is a low sharpen, but when I type in sharpen, I don't know. So you might want to go through here and take a look at everything that there is, because for whatever reason, these groups here don't show every single thing there is. I don't know why. Pick the ones you like, put them in your favorites. I don't use most of these, but they're there if you want to get fancy. And you can do all sorts of things. These are your transitions I showed you. This is the text. I did show you the intro videos part, but here's the actual text themselves, and there's all sorts of cool things you can do with this one. These are all just things, and when you add these in here, you can see, you can change whatever you want, and you can also get like custom fonts. So there we go, custom font. There's also all sorts of cool ones it comes with anyway, but you just download them and then open the program, and if they're installed in your font library, they work in this program, no problem. So that's definitely a huge help. There's a bunch of free font websites you can go to. And let's see here. So there's that. There's a whole bunch of these cool text things you can play with. But the other thing too, which I do want to show you, is let's say I'm going to use... we'll use this clip right here. So let's say I wanted to have this sort of pop in the way I wanted it to. Well, there's this thing here, animation, and while they do have their own custom animations, I don't really like them that much. So what you're going to do here, and this is one of the more advanced things, probably the most advanced thing I'm going to show you, but we're going to add animation. And this is the starting point, so we're okay with it being here. But maybe I wanted to zoom in so it takes up the whole screen and do like a weird transition over this period of time. So I'm going to double click this, and we go. We're going to resize this. Now, I personally don't recommend messing with this too much because it does seem to mess with the quality a bit. But if you're just doing something quick, especially when I was shrinking things in, that works too. What we can see here, oh, you know what, I'll do this too. So it has a little bit more time to start off, so we can see it there, and then okay. Now we're going to go in more in depth, and it zooms in, and now we can see the full thing, and boy does that look nice. So you can mess with this any way you want, but there is really cool things, so you could be like... This one you do have to be careful, because while you can delete things, it'll do all sorts of weird stuff on you that'll mess with the shape of your video if you're not careful, and then it'll be hard to fix it afterwards, and you'll just be... So just be careful with messing around with the animation thing is what I'm saying. But let's say I want to do like this, and let's say we go, instead of shrink it, maybe we go like that. So what's going to happen here, start this here, as you can see, is this video is going to go skyrocketing that way. So if you want to have some sort of cool thing moving across the screen, you can decide how you want it to be. I could add a keyframe too, so maybe I want it to go over here. So now, when we see this go like this, it'll get to its destination spot, and then it's going to come back down. So I mean, there you go, you can create that DVD player window thing with this. I don't really use this conceal thing, I don't use this feature. If you want to add a logo, you can add a logo, so I'm not going to mess with that too much. Slow motion I haven't messed with. So audio, I don't use these features because I just do them in my Audacity, but if you want them, they're there. And the other thing that I do want to mention is if you double click this or this, you can mess with the volume. So if I want the game volume to be way lower, so if I want it 10, there you go, it's good to go. And this is really the gist of what you're doing. You're basically just editing the videos together at that point. Reverse, that's fancy. I wonder what that looks like. So yeah, you can mess around with reverse, that'd be pretty hilarious. Otherwise, I don't use the noise remover in this because I use it in the other program, but I do find that this leads to clicking noises if you're not careful, so do be careful using it on this program if you don't know what you're doing. And this one I do like because there is so many options. I was using Italian for a little bit when I was not editing the videos audio properly, so you might find benefit in these ones. That's the gist of it though. Not too much I can go into for this, but that's that. For exporting though, I export MKV, always highest, even though it takes a huge file size, always highest, and your audio should be at 48. So you should be recording in 48 if you're not already. If you're, for whatever reason your device doesn't record in 48, you got whatever thing you need to, but 48 is definitely the best. And fortunately, this is one issue with Movavi with doing what we're doing. There is no 35 FPS version, so it's to your discretion. My camera records in 5994, so I usually just pick this. But it's like I said, it's to your discretion, and I always use this codec. I don't think it makes that big a difference, but there's that to change that. Once we got that going, set whatever, export. It'll be new project unless we actually save the file. And thankfully this does have a really good autosave, so usually if you find it crashes, it's not going to give you too much issue. And the other thing too, which I will show you quickly, is if I wanted to just have just do just edit the voiceover on this. So I got the voiceover tracks right here. Well, if I export this as an MP or as a, well, I guess I would probably do a WAV, but if I export this like this, it's going to be, see, the audio quality is because it's the camera, I think, but actually maybe I can do this. Oh, there we go, that's why. But if I export this, so yeah, make sure you do that. I can go into I can go to Audacity, I can do all my effect editing on that, transfer it back over, no problem. It's all already lined up anyway, so that's a good tip to know too. I don't know what these other things are. I guess these are different settings for different stuff, and you might be able to post directly to YouTube using this, but I haven't done that, clearly. So that's that. If you have any more questions, please let me know, but there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully that helps out a bit. And that's the Movavi guide.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.